nowadays, musicians, we need to have all our music videos in different platforms like YouTube, Spotify, and I think for my generation is easier, I can say, because we are more used to, or we grow up with all these things, no? But maybe older generation that they need to learn now to do the things differently, I think is really hard, no? And I think even for young musicians, one big factor, for example, is to produce all these things, no? For example, to produce a CD or to produce a video or pictures even. We need to have the money to do all these things, and it's something else that we need to give to be able to have this, no? For example, older generation, they paid for these things, no? They didn't have to pay because people was paying for that, no? The labels were paying for the CDs, and I think everything changed, and we have to learn and to grow with this and to know that we have to do these things. Which role social media do in my career? Well, this is a good question that I never thought about it, and I would like to say that it's not so important, but it's not true. And even I like social media. I watch videos from my colleagues. I like to watch videos, and I with my ensemble, for example, for us it's important. We want to for example, to have new audiences, and I think the social media helps a lot because the young people is there. So even if I want to say that it's not important, I think it is. And well, and I'm happy about it. It's not like I don't want, but yeah. And I have musicians, we have to have social media, and it's a big part of that. I think we all feel a bit of pressure to have relevance because, for example, I think there is a difference between musicians. If you want to have a solo career or to have your own ensemble, I think it makes a big difference. If, for example, you are working more in orchestras, it's a different world. It's more by contacts, and maybe it's not so important that you show what you are doing all the time. So in that case, I think depends more on which career do you have. Well, if someone tells me that they don't like early music, I will say you should come to a concert. And I think people that say that doesn't like early music or classical music in general, usually it's because they don't know or they have never been in a concert, or maybe they went only once. And I think in that case, early music or classical music is like beer. In the sense, like the first time you try beer, you say, well, I don't like this. Well, I have to say that I'm not a fan of beer. But anyway, well, I can drink sometimes a beer, no? Even if I'm not a fan of a beer. Because the first time, of course, I didn't like it. The second time, well, maybe it's a bit better. And maybe the third time I said, okay, next time I will repeat. And I think it's the same because first, you can go to a concert that you don't like. And sometimes I go to a concert that I said, well, it's not the best concert I heard. Or even I didn't like this concert. But for example, if you go to 3, maybe you like 1. Or maybe you start to be used to this music. For example, when I played the first time a Renaissance concert with Renaissance instruments, with all the instruments with gut strings in Minton, 1/4 Minton, I said, well, what is this sound? I prefer my Baroque instrument, and this sound is really weird, no? And the next times I was playing, I got used to, and I really like to play with these instruments, and I really enjoy this sound now. So I think this is the same. Classical music and early music, maybe you need to be. Some people know. Some people with one they said, "Wow, I love it," but others no. And I have I have some people that they have never been in a concert, and suddenly they said, "Wow, I love this concert. And I love early music and I didn't know. So please come to a concert. Yes, I have one composer that I could say that made a difference in maybe in my career. I started to play the viola da gamba when I was 8 years old, and I was playing, well, many pieces, easy pieces maybe from Ortiz or English music like Hume. And I remember that I was 11 years old and I had to do the exam between the grado medio and the grado profesional, because there is exam between the different levels in Spain. And well, I had to play a piece by Magamage. And I remember when I discovered this music, I said, wow, I love this instrument. I love French music, and I really want to play this instrument, because at the beginning, maybe you start to play an instrument because, well, your parents, you do the exam in the conservatory, you enter, but at the end is maybe your parents push you to do the studies, no, and you're happy. But there is a point when you really say, no, this is what I really want to do. And I think it was really that point that I started to discover this music, and I really love it. And then I remember Forqueré, years later, because it's much difficult, his music. And I remember I said, I really need to study a lot to play this music. But at the same time, when I was listening to CDs, I was thinking, wow, I really want to play this. Even if it's super difficult and I need to study many, many hours, I really want to do it. So I think, I always play these composers with a lot of love. Well, one thing is what I dream, and other thing is what I think is going to be, no? I think nowadays, if you go to concerts, you see older generations. So I think we musicians, all the people that is involved in our world, even in culture, we really need to create new audiences and to be able to get to the new people, no? So what is the future? Well, I think it will continue. I hope we could play like we are playing now, maybe more festivals, maybe new places, I don't know. But for me, what is my what I'm doing here, I think every person have a space here, because at the end we are different and we can all give different perspectives. But in my case, I really want to teach. Is something that I love, and I would love to teach in a conservatory, to for example, to give my passion to another ones, or to teach or to show. And because at the end, I think the teachers are really important for the new generations. Plus, I want to do concerts because it's what I love, no? So, and to reach people and to give my music to everyone. Yeah. What do I want that they feel when they listen to me? It's a good question. I never ask me that. I think when we play, we don't want them to feel something special. I think I want that they feel something, that my music arrives to them. Because this is funny, but I remember once that I was playing a piece that it was not sad for me at all. And when I finished, a friend told me, well, I was crying when you were playing. And I was really surprised, like, crying? Yes, I was so touched. And I was really surprised, no? But I think this is really beautiful when someone tells you that. So I didn't expect that you wanted to cry. But it's so nice, no? That you felt something. So, yeah, my answer, I think, is that the music arrives to you. At the end, your experience and my experiences are different, so I cannot expect that you feel something that I want you to feel, no? It's clear that maybe some pieces are more sad, and I expect that you are sad, but maybe not, maybe you are happy, and that's okay too. What I really want is to move the audience. Well, I have a smile in my face, so of course I have many things that when I think in Bretza makes me smile and happy, and I have so many remembers with them. Um, when we created Bretza, it was in summer 2019, if I remember well, that I think so. So it was even before COVID. We were all finishing our studies, so we were studying. We really wanted to create this, so I think at the end we had many first times together, and I think this is really nice, and so this is why I have many moments that I think about them and they are special for me. So from I remember, I could say that one that it was really special, that it was really in the beginning. It was our very first concert, professional concert together. That it was during COVID, but it was 2020, so it was everything closed, and we had a concert in the International Festival in Santander. That is an amazing festival. Well, and in that time, just to have a concert was special, no? But it was our first concert together, so I really remember that. But not only that, for example, I have here our CD, that this is really special, not only with Bretza, only is important to me too, because it's really my first CD as, how can I say that, we produced together from the beginning to the end. And we learned so much, not only with the concerts together, we learned, for example, organizing the tours, we organized many, many tours in Switzerland, for example, and we had to learn everything together. So, well, all these moments, I have them with me forever, and yes, are all very, very special. And I have really funny moments with them, really sad moments with them. So, yes. For me, it's weird to speak about authenticity or to try to reach authenticity. I think, or you are or you are not. In the sense, when you are a student, you have to learn, you have to, let's say, copy what your teacher is saying. You have to learn something, you have to copy, no? And to repeat. Then you have to go with more teachers. You need to see here many different options to try, even if you don't like them, because if you don't try them, you will never like them. And then after all your experience, you start to be to take the decision to do this or that, or how do you do this or not. But first you need to listen and to hear and to see. If you try to be authentic from the beginning, this is a bit stupid, because it's like if you try to learn to play jazz and you don't want to copy the people, you will never learn the basics. So first, learn the technique, learn the options, and then choose, and you will be yourself. It's like if you listen to the CD and you said, they do a forte here, I will not do it because they do it. No, maybe you like this forte and you want to do it. But it's because you wanted to do it, not because you are copying this, So for me, this is authenticity. So you do what you want. Well, I think just this question says the truth. So, and it's very sad, no? At the end, we have to take opportunities for free, just to make us known, or to be able to, that people listen to us and they could have an opinion about us, even if it's good or bad, no? But many times we don't have the opportunities, or it's really difficult. And at the end, I think all professional musicians, we have to do some steps in between until you are a professional musician. And there is no another way. And even when you are a professional musician, because we love our job, and it's like that, sometimes you have some projects that you do it because is nice, the project, and you really wanted to do it, and you want to play with your colleagues, and maybe it's not worthy speaking about money. And always speaking about money is complicated because it's true that our passion is our job, but at the same time it's our job, so we need to earn money with that, no? This is a job, no? So, well, the precarity is like it is, doesn't depend on us. Culture in general, I don't think it's only music. Well, it's important, I think, for the society. For society, it's very, very important. But it's true that you can live without music and not without food. Well, is the question. I don't think we can live without music. But so this is why I think the governments should take care about that. Of course, about other things too, but about culture and music too. Yes, I think for sure people idealize our life. um, our life is really nice. It's really beautiful. I love it. If not, I will not be a musician because, of course, there are many things that are difficult in our lives, and I can see that. I can see that, and I live with that. I don't know personally if I had to renounce a lot in my personal life to be a musician because I was really lucky, and all my family and friends, partner, they always support my career. So this is a big, big point that I had, and I have to say it, I was very lucky. But even being lucky, it's a hard life. For example, if you're a musician, almost a 90% you have to go abroad, at least in my case. That is really nice, and I'm very happy to be able to live in another country. But at the same time, it's something that you have to do, and well, this makes all the life more difficult than if you speak about money or a fixed job. For example, if you want to be a teacher, okay, this is nice. If you don't want to be a teacher, it's more difficult to have a fixed income every month. So this is something that you have to deal with that and think if you want this type of life or not. Or in case you don't want it, think if you like to teach, because many of us, we start to study music not thinking that we have to teach. And even if you like it, well, or maybe not, you have to do it, no? So, well, at least I think it's really personal. Depends on the person and the type of life you want. But I think it's really, really idealized by the society, because it's true that we are lucky, that we are doing what we want, but it's not everything so nice as it looks. If you want to know more about me, my music or my ensembles, you can find me in my webpage, marinacabellodelcastillo.com. Then I have Instagram and Facebook. My ensembles are Brezza, and here you have our CD that we have on Spotify and different platforms. And we have many videos in YouTube. Then I have another ensemble that is Vivalma, and we have a YouTube too with more videos, and well, both they have an amazing webpage. And of course, if you want to contact me for any question or anything, you can find me, well, in all this social media. Bye bye.